it's making Energizer look really on top of their data, which is great. Energizer is a global battery and lighting company sold in many markets around the world, and I work in the international business-to-business team. So we have a lot of data, and it's my responsibility to sort of collect it all together and make sure that it's available. We have more and more questions these days about different sorts of data and CO2 emissions and certificates and all that kind of thing. So I think it's going to be continuously evolving because there will always be extra questions. And because we work with different markets, some countries have different requests than others that are more specific to just that country. So I think the main goal is to make sure that we've got as much data as we possibly can. So we have a central PIM that we use for every market for Energizer. Everything that's in there is more based towards B2C rather than B2B. So we need things such as the ECLIM data and all that kind of thing. We had to start trying to look elsewhere to find ways of getting this data centralized. Obviously, we need to be able to export the data as well in certain formats such as a BMECat or FAB-DIS. So we have various sort of custom matrices in the system that we're using as well. Sometimes we just need to export assets and things just separately as like a separate file. We did actually speak to Datio. We decided would be the best option for us to help us move forward because just how easy it is to use. It's so easy to import your data and to manage things. And I think the fact that you could do FAB-DIS, BMECat with more or less with a press of a button, and the data sheet part, the PDFs was a really big thing for us. It's such a good system. Yeah, all those elements, we thought this is great compared to what we were using, and the fact that we couldn't get anything from our system. We thought this is far and away a much better option for us. So the cost for Datio for the year for what you can get is brilliant. I already had data in an Excel file. When I was going through this system, like the first time I was looking at it going, oh, I could import things with an Excel file. I was like, well, I've already got that. So everything was already ready. So it was so simple. But even if you change your file, it still maps it. It's still the mapping still there. You don't have to keep doing everything. I think it's just the ease of use is so great. And it's whenever I've needed some help, I can just email, put in a Visio, go through and help with questions. Adding assets was very difficult to upload, and you had to just do one thing at a time, whereas now you can select 200 products and then add it to all of them at once, and I find that to be so much easier than previously. When you export assets, you can rename them or you can resize them, because some of our customers would have to specifically name the images so that I'm not managing more than one set of images for everything. So the fact that you can then go and say, well, I want to take all these products and just rename them as the GTIN and then the customer code or whatever, and then export it that way is brilliant. It's really, really good. So that's a really helpful feature. And again, just the exporting, the fact that you can just select products and then click BMECat and it's done. Because there are certain things that you find, oh, I didn't realize you can actually do that. And then I'll say to my boss, oh, do you know we can do this in data? Like, really? I'm like, yeah, we can do that now. And we have a file from one of our customers where when you import their file and you map it and everything, when you export it, it comes out exactly the same. So I didn't realize that if you've got multiple tabs, and even if they've got formulas and things in them, it just comes back out exactly the same way, but with the data on, which is fantastic. So expectations is really met, kind of probably above expectations really, because it's once you start using it and you realize just how simple it is and easy it is to use, really good to use it, and I've really enjoyed using it. Literally everything that we need is coming out of the system, and it's great. BMECat, that's the main one that we've been using for a lot of our customers, and it was taking time because in the other system you'd go through and you had to do certain steps before you could download it, and you had to change things and make sure that everything was correct. In Norway, rather than having like a pack or case, you have to have the Norwegian words. The other company couldn't find a way of really doing it because it had to be done with a script and all that kind of thing in their system, and it's very difficult. Whereas with Datio, you can just go in and say, well, when you put this in here, just change it to this word, and it does it. So I think the BMECat is perfect because now I've got it all. Once I've got it all set up, it is a case of just my colleague will say, I need a file for these products, and I select the products and I go to export it, put the language that they want, and it's done. And I send it and it's done within minutes. Whereas before it was taking a lot more time because of the amount of data we've got and how quickly we can get it now. I think it's making us look really good because we can send stuff back pretty quickly, and it's all the data they need is pretty much there. So I think it's making Energizer look really on top of their data, which is great. probably how easy it is to use and navigate and get around and set things up. I think that's one of the main strengths, because I think just the variety of the data, so how you can set your data and how you can export it in all different ways, and how simple that is one of the main strengths. Just how it's set out and how you can navigate and find things. And then I think, just again from the other side of it, getting the data, and so you can upload any format of spreadsheet or whatever and map it, and it's done, and your data's there. I think those are probably the three main things from my point of view that are great. That's really helped us sort of move on with our project. Yeah, so I know you guys are adding things and changing things all the time, which is great, and you obviously keep everyone really up to date on what's new and what's changing, and it make everything quite easy for you to kind of check out what's new and how things work, which is great as well. So you're not just, you're constantly evolving, which means that we can evolve as well in terms of just how easily we can manage our data.